All right, what is going on? It's that time of year. It's Justice League 2023. We're back. We're 14 deep. We're ready to roll. It's another season. We've got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Season 8. Season 8. So appreciate, first of all, shout out to everybody that's been holding it down. The league doesn't mean diddly squat unless guys continue to come back, put forth great effort, try hard, make it competitive. So you guys make it worthwhile. Um, so big appreciation to you guys. It doesn't work without your effort and without you guys coming back. We've upped it to 150 is our buy-in this year to try to motivate some folks to continue to be competitive all the way down the stretch. $100 weeks. So $100 goes to the weekly high man. I don't know of a better way to motivate everybody to set your lineup. You could be 0 and 12, and in week 13, which will be the final week of our regular season, you could bag $100 and get 2/3 of your money back, even if you had a miserable season. I pray that doesn't happen to anybody. But if it did, you still could make $100 in 1 week if you just put it all together. So that's the reason why we're doing that. I'm just going to go over some of the things with the league. I want to make sure that there's transparency and everybody knows everything that's going on. There's been some changes, nothing crazy, but I want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on and get this to you on a Saturday, at least 24 hours before the Sunday draft. The draft is set for 12:15 Pacific time. I don't know why Yahoo does that, but they do it. So that would be 3:15 Eastern and 2:15 Central for those of us in Texas, and then obviously Eastern time would be 3:15 for most of you guys. Most of you guys are in Florida or in the Carolinas and whatnot. So we're going to roll out. I'm going to pull up the actual league app here on the computer, and we'll go over some of these changes and just make sure that everybody's got a clear, concise understanding of what we're doing for Justice League 2023. The basic nuts and bolts, it's going to be a 14-team league again. We're deep. We had a couple other people we actually could have added and went 16. Not going to do that to everybody. 14 is pretty heavy, but we made it work last year. So we're 14 deep. We will have 8 teams in the playoff. We're going to go weeks 1 through 13 will be the regular season. Reason I'm trying to do that is trying my very best to limit the just the foolishness that happens later in the season with guys sitting out, coaches holding guys out, teams have got off to a great start, and they've been kind of the catalyst to your fantasy success. And now the coaches are sitting them because they've got a 2-game lead in the division. That's why we're going 13 weeks. So we're hoping to cut out as much of that nonsense as possible. Playoffs will be weeks 14, 15, and 16. There will not be a bye because it's going to be an 18 playoff. Okay, so weeks 14, 15, 16 will be the playoffs, 8 teams, total of 14 teams vying for those 8 spots. We're doing a salary cap draft. Okay, it's a little bit different. We discussed this a little bit over the summer, and we decided that it would be a nice move. I think for all those people who have mocked it, it is pretty exciting. The basic gist is I didn't want year after year for everybody to be kind of pigeonholed in whatever the draft position was. And it was kind of a pain in the ass to figure out the draft position and this guy, do all that. I think the easiest and most fair thing to do is go salary cap at this point. I think the quality of the league can handle it and can understand how to, I guess, balance a budget. And the biggest thing is any player is available to any person for the right price. So if your guy is Lamar Jackson, you can have him because you can bid on him and you can just outbid the rest of the league. Mahomes, Jonathan Taylor, whoever your guy is. If you have a sleeper that you want to grab and you can get him cheaper because maybe you know about him, it's going to enable people who are doing some homework and kind of have their guys identified. It'll help you attain them. And it also, the biggest thing is that any player is available for anybody, and you're not just limited and relegated to your draft position. So that's why we went salary cap. We're going to do, again, a $100 fab budget. Obviously, this is fake Yahoo money. $100 fab budget. Everybody's going to get $100, just like everybody's going to get $250 to start the draft. The reason why we're going $250 is because we're doing double flex and we're doing 2 IDPs, 2 individual defensive players. We also talked about that, and I think the individual defensive player was pretty fun last year, and we're going to go over the scoring settings also. I tried to manipulate the scoring settings so that you could have a down lineman, a linebacker, or a back four guy, and all of them would have the propensity to score. So I tried to weigh interceptions and tried to weigh the sacks and the passes deflected and all that stuff. There was a little method to the madness. And if you look at the players list in your apps, you'll actually see within the top 10 or 15, you'll see all the positions represented. So that tells me that the scoring system, at least on a projection basis, is decent. So if you want Diggs from Dallas, you want to go a corner, get him and Ramsey, you can do that. You can still have a fighting chance to put up points. It's not just going to be a middle linebacker, chalking up a bunch of tackles, and that's everybody's got to get a middle linebacker. I didn't like that with the IDP. So I tried to highlight individual brilliance and big plays and try to even it out. So if you guys look at the settings, and we'll go over it here in a little bit, you'll see that's why we did that. All right, so we covered it, 250 salary cap draft. We covered the $100 fab budget everybody's going to get. The 250 is necessitated by having the 2 IDPs and the double flex, not a super flex. So it's not 2 quarterbacks. It's a double flex. And one of those flex positions can be a tight end and the other cannot. And we're putting a draft cap limit on 3 tight ends so nobody tries to hoard all the tight ends. I don't think anybody would do that, but just in case somebody had some sinister plan to soak up the tight end market, we're going to disallow that. Let's see. Oh, this will probably be music to everybody's ears because I probably trade more than anybody. We're going to limit 12 trades for the entire season per team. Okay, so you essentially can make a trade a week. But as far as trading and then trading again and then trading back and getting the guys, I've been guilty of it. Other people have done it too. We're going to try to nip that in the bud. I think that's better for the league. I can probably figure out ways to trade and get value back and do that and make a million trades. But I don't think it's good for the league. So we're going to stop that, and we're going to put a cap on that. 12 trades for the entire season. So what I'm hoping that does is it limits the kind of frivolous, just spur of the moment trades. People will think them through. I think it'll be better for the league if we do that. And then it'll just put more weight on each individual trade. We're not just doing mini deals just to do a deal. The trades that actually are thought out to help your team get better. I think it's probably time we do that. Probably could have done that a couple years ago, but we're going to do it now. And I don't think there will be a whole lot of pushback on that. I think that's a pretty good rule to put in place. And it really only, I don't know anybody else besides maybe me and another 1 or 2 that would even complete 12 trades in a season. So really it's not punitive to the field, but it will limit some of the foolishness and some of the nonsense in the trading, I think. Also in that same vein, we're going to do 5 ads a week. In the past, I've seen it where guys are just adding, dropping to try to gum people up on waivers. Some might call it gamesmanship. It's probably not. It's probably bullshit. So we're going to stop that. 5 ads a week. So once the waivers clear, you can add 5 players, essentially. And a lot of people won't even do that. But it's 5 ads a week. You can't go over that limit. Kind of like what we did in the baseball for those who played the baseball league with us. It'll be pretty much the same deal there. Those are the major changes. The schedule's already set, so we're good there. Again, we're going weeks 1 through 13, 14, 15, and 16 will be playoffs for the 8 that make it. But what I just mentioned here are the major changes. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the rosters and the scoring just to go over this. And again, we're doing this video. I'm going to put it out into the WhatsApp chat. And I'm hoping that everybody can get a chance to watch this before the draft, just so they have an understanding. We're going to do field it every week. Will be 1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, 1 flex that can be a wide receiver or a running back, 1 flex that can be a wide receiver, a running back, or a tight end. So what that means is you can never field 3 tight ends. So I'm doing that so people don't gum up the tight end market or try to put a stranglehold on it. We do have a kicker. Sorry, Gino, we still have kickers. The kicking points will be based on yardage. So if you kick a 27-yard field goal, it's 2.7 points. You kick a 71-yard field goal, it's 7.1 points. I think that's gone over pretty well. So that's how we'll do the scoring system there. And we will have 2 individual defensive players. It could be 2 down linemen. It could be 2 linebackers. It could be 2 corners. It could be however you want to match that up. But it'll be 2 defensive players every week that you set. As far as the bench, we're going to go 7 spots. Normally it's 6, I think, is the standard. Because we're doing the two defensive players, and I didn't want guys to have to drop defensive players that maybe they really like. We're going to add that 7th spot defensively, and we're going to go 3 IR spots. 3. So we've got 3 IR spots. And after thinking about that, I was going to do 2, but I have a funny feeling we're going to get some more COVID bullshit, and I don't want guys to be losing players or having to drop people because of COVID, because I know the NFL and the NBA, they've got crazy with that stuff, and they're kind of being pressured. So that's why we have 3 IR spots. If anybody gets sick with COVID, it would fall under the designation of IR. So there's 3 spots there, 7 spots total in your bench. And I've gone over what we're fielding each week. So that is set. That's how we're going to roll there. Now, if we go to the actual scoring settings, I'll run this down so everybody knows how we're amassing the points. That's the whole point of the game. Different than a lot of leagues, our passing touchdowns are worth 6, not 4. I think it's pretty crazy that a guy could, lace a dime in the back of the end zone. He only gets 4 points, and then somebody could run it in for, 1 yard at the quarterback position. He gets 6. So no matter what, it's 6 points for a touchdown. Interceptions are going to be -2. This is something that's a little different from other leagues. Completions are +0.1. Okay, so +0.1. And incompletion is -0.1. So efficiency matters. If you have a quarterback who's got a 50% completion rate and just spraying it all over the field, over the course of the season, he's going to see less total points. Now, it's 0.1, so it's not a whole point. So obviously, he'd have to miss 10 times to get a -1 point. But over the course of the year, it will matter. And in close matchups, it could be the difference. Guys are missing wide open throws, or they have receivers that are dropping the ball on them. It's going to hurt them. Sacks are going to be -0.5. I didn't want to make it too punitive because sometimes lines suck. It's not really on the quarterback, but sometimes quarterbacks do take sacks. So it's -0.5 for sacks. Passing yards, it's going to be 1 point per 25 yards. That's been pretty much the same since we've been doing this. A pick 6 is going to be -4 points. Okay, so an interception's -2. It's also going to be -4. So if you throw a pick 6, it's going to be -6 points. Don't throw pick 6s. 40-yard completion is 2 points. 40-yard pass completion for a touchdown is an additional 2 points. So if you get a 40-yard completion, you'll get those 2 points for the 40-yard completion. You'll also get 2 more points for a total of 4 extra bonus points if that 40-yard completion also results in a touchdown. Passing first downs, 0.25. This is also something new. You're going to get first down bonuses. So if Joe Burrow throws for a first down on top of everything he amasses with the yards, all that good stuff, he's going to get 0.25 for passing for a first down. It's going to be the same as we go down here for rushing and receiving as well. Rushing for a first down, you get 0.25 points for a first down. So if it's 3rd and 1, you'll get a yard, and then you'll also get the 0.25 for the bonus there. 40-yard run is going to be 2 points, just as it is for 40-yard pass. 40-yard rushing touchdown will also be an additional 2 points. Rushing yards, you're going to get a point for every 10 yards. Touchdowns obviously be 6. Going down to receiving, it's going to be 6 points for a receiving touchdown. We are PPR league, full PPR, not half. We are full PPR, so you get a full point for a reception. So those drafting Eckler and spend a lot of money, it'll probably be worth it because he gets a whole bunch of 3- and 4-yard catches, racks up points that way. Receiving yards, you get 1 point per 10 yards. 40-yard reception is going to be 2 points. 40-yard TD reception is going to be an additional 2 points. So a 40-yard touchdown reception will result in a 4-point bonus because you're going to get the 40 yards for the reception, or the 2 points for the 40-yard reception, and the 2 additional for that reception also being a touchdown. Receiving first downs is going to be I have it 0.30. We're going to make that 0.5 because it's harder to catch a first down. So we're going to make that 0.5. So it'll actually be a little bit of a bonus in comparison and contrast to throwing or running one. Return touchdowns be 6 points. Return yards, we'll do this right now. You'll get a point for 25 yards. We've messed this up, or I've messed this up in the past where it was a point for every 10 yards, and then these return specialists were being these super flexes. So we're not going to do that. You get 1 point for 25 yards. So if you do get a guy who's racking up, 100 yards returning every week, then, hey, there's 4 points. It can help you, but it's not going to be enough to put you over the top. 2-point conversions will be worth 2 points for whatever player converts them. A fumble lost is -2. So if he fumbles it and it's recovered by the same team, you're fine. If you lose the fumble, it's -2. Offensive fumble return TD is going to be worth 6 points. So if your receiver jumps on a fumbled ball in the end zone and scores, he's getting 6 points. Field goals, we've already gone over that. It's going to be 1 point per 10 yards. So we did the decimals with that. It's going to be the same as it was last year. A point after made attempt will be worth 1 point. A point after missed will be negative 0.5. Okay. Going on to defensive players, a solo tackle is 0.75 points. A tackle assist is 0.25 points. So if you have a tackle and a tackle assist from a linebacker spot, you will amass 1 point. Doing that so that linebackers that are just always around the ball, which will typically be your Mike Sandwill linebacker, depending on the scheme, sometimes stand-up ends, if they're getting 10 tackles a game because the ball's being funneled to where they're at, then they kind of just mass a ton of points. So by scaling it back, even just 0.25 points, it kind of evens it out. Sacks. Last year, sacks were worth a ton of points. I scaled it back just a little bit this year because it kind of made the D lineman kind of more prominent than everyone else. So sacks are worth 7 points. Now, when you get a tackle, if you get a solo tackle, you're still getting that 0.75 points for the solo tackle. You're still going to get the tackle for loss, which is 1.5 points. Okay, so you're still getting that additional on top of the sack. All this stuff runs concurrent. Interceptions are going to be 10 points. They're very rare. So if you take the best defensive player and you figure he gets, 9, 10 picks a year, that's 100 points. And DBs are not getting a ton of tackles. So this allows you to get a star DB like a Sauce Gardner. And over the course of a season, you can field what is the equivalent to a star power player on defense and still amass a competitive amount of points. So therefore, you're not relegated to going and getting some IDP that you don't know his name and he plays for the Jaguars, but he gets a shit ton of tackles. No, you can get the star player as long as he's doing what star players do over the course of the season, getting picks, strip sacks, things of that nature. He's going to amass the points, so you can get the guy that you like. So that was kind of the thought process behind that. Just rounding out the points accumulation, forced fumbles worth 5 points, fumble recoveries worth 3. Defensive touchdown of any kind is worth 6. A safety is worth 3 points. A pass defended is 2.5 points. A block kick is 3 points. A tackle for loss, as we talked about, was 1.5 points. Some bonuses, and we're going to be wrapping up the scoring here. Some bonuses for passing yards. 300 yards, you get 2 points. 400 yards, you get an additional 2 points. 500 yards, you get an additional 3 points. So if you throw for 500 yards, you're going to get all those levels of bonuses. So quarterbacks that are throwing the piss out of the ball are going to score a lot of points. Something to keep in mind when you draft. Rushing yards, same deal. Running backs that run for 150 getting plus 2 points. Running backs that are running for over 200 yards are going to get plus 3 points. Fix that there. And then running backs that go over 250 are going to get another additional 2 points. So a guy that goes over 2 points, a guy that goes over 250, he's going to get a total of 7 points bonuses because he's going to get the 150 bonus, the 200 bonus, and then the 250 bonus. And we've got the same deal going for the wide receiver. 150 is going to be 2 points. Going over the 200-yard mark is going to be 3 points. And then going over 250 is going to be an additional 2 points for a total of 7. The wide receiver goes crazy. Probably Justin Jefferson is probably going to do this at least once this year. He would get that 7-point bonus. So if a guy goes absolutely batshit crazy, he's going to score a lot of points. All right, let me make sure I got that squared away. All right, so those scoring settings are set. Let's see what we got here for receiving first down. Hold on. What's this thing talking about here? Oh, I had an extra decimal there. Let's see, we should be good now. And we're good. All right, let's see if we got anything else. Keeper league. Okay. So we're floating with the idea of taking a player from last year and drop him on the team is kind of going to be a little convoluted, a little confusing. So we are now officially a keeper league. So that's something worthy of talking about as you craft your draft strategy. If you can get a guy for a decent price, you will be able to keep anybody on your roster. You can assign them as a keeper. And when you assign them as a keeper, you are going to keep them on the premise that they are going to be worth the amount that you paid for them in this draft or the amount that you purchased them for via your fab budget. If you could waiver wire a guy and make him your keeper, you get one keeper going into next year. So that does kind of blend itself into your strategy. So for instance, popular guys look at Anthony Richardson for instance. Let's say you get him for $8 this year in the draft. Maybe he flops as a rookie, or maybe he shows a lot of promise and booms towards the end of the year, and he becomes a top 10 quarterback next year. If you chose to keep AR, you would be able to keep him, and instead of having a $250 budget to start next year, you would get assigned Anthony Richardson as your quarterback already, and you would have $242. So your quarterback would already be out of the way, and then you would have $242 to spend. Theoretically, that's how we're going to work the keeper. So that's a big piece that also factors into trades. Maybe you want to trade somebody that has some value going into next year. That's a factor, and that would be factored in determining whether or not the trade is legitimate or not. Trades, we're going to do away with a veto system. I will yay and nay trades based on a couple opinions that we have in the group here. It will be done on a fair basis. It's not going to be anything that's going to be slanted towards anybody, particularly not for myself. But we are going to do that. That way we can process these trades within a day. Actually, you can process them instantly once they meet muster. And that will kind of simplify that. So again, we've limited the trades. Trade veto in the past has been used as a way to kind of collude, I guess, if you will, and kind of, I guess, gatekeep. And that's not the nature of the trade veto. That's not what it should be used. If a trade is fair on the premise, if there's equal value, it should be able to go. And in the real world, a trade is done noon on Tuesday. That player Wednesday is packed as shit and he's wherever his new destination is. So it shouldn't be gummed up for 2-3 days. That's not realistic. That's not how the sports world works. So we're not going to do it like that. Trades will be instant once they meet muster. If any trades are lopsided, they will be killed. They will not be allowed. So that's not going to be an issue. Again, we've got 12 trades that can be completed over the course of a season. We've got 5 ads that can be done in the course of a week. Trying to think of what else we have here that is different. Again, our schedule's set. All the teams are locked, so everybody is good to go. Regarding the buy-in is going to be $150. That needs to be in by Sunday draft time. If it's not in Sunday draft time, everybody would draft fine. After that, whoever hasn't paid, we're going to lock your team until you get paid because it's unfair for the rest of the team. So just get the dues in by Sunday. Otherwise, your team will be locked for ad drops until payment is received. Everything will be transparent. The money, as you guys know, every year goes out Monday night. As soon as Monday night's over, it will go out instantly. $100 for whoever's the weekly high man. That's how we'll do it. I'm hoping that that'll motivate everybody to put forth their best effort. And I don't make enough money to not need $100. So I don't know if any of you guys do or not, but hey, I'll give you my PayPal and you can hook me up if you don't need $100. Going through here, we've covered rosters, we've covered scoring, we've covered the playoff format, we've covered the draft and the keepers. I just want to kind of not give tips because I think all you guys are more than capable of coming up with your own draft strategy, but it is a salary cap draft. You have $250 fake dollars to purchase what I believe is, I think we field 10 a week, and then you have a bench of 7. So essentially for 17 players. So there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can divvy it up, 250 by 17. You could spend big money and then wait, because a lot of times with these drafts, there's still good players that are left over. So you don't necessarily need to, flip out if you spent a lot of money in the first couple rounds of the draft. You still should be able to get some good value on some guys later. But it's really kind of like, go get your guy. Like, you have enough money to go get your guy. If you sit back and you hold your ducats to yourself, you may watch a lot of opportunity kind of fly by, and then you don't really have a team that you like. So go get your guy. If there's somebody that you really want to have on your team, go get them within reason. Some people are going to splurge on guys. Some people are going to, be able to get their guy for a good price. So just kind of craft your own strategy. It is $250. It is a salary cap. But But just keep that in mind. I think everybody can craft their own strategy, but just one thing I would say is don't just sit back and not go get the guy that you want, because it's going to be hard to trade into guys that are big investment pieces. So if I spend $40 on Patrick Mahomes, not that I would, maybe I would, but if I spend 40 on Patrick Mahomes and you try to later trade me because he's had a couple bad weeks, you try to trade me Tua, who's a $15 quarterback, I'm going to have some hesitancy because I'm $40 in the hole in Mahomes. So if you really want somebody, go make the investment and go get them, because it may be harder to trade into them. Because even though Tua may be playing at a certain level, it's going to be tough for me to come off a player that I spent 2 or 3 times as much as you did for this player. Like, it's going to be hard for me to trade a $40 player for a $21 player, even if through 3 weeks he's been better on the field. So I would just lay that out there. If you have somebody that you really want to go get, freaking go get them, man. There's going to be some bid wars. It's probably going to be pretty entertaining to see. And just, be aggressive to go get your guy. Other than that, I think we have covered all of the changes and all of the details. So I would just leave it off. Let me make sure we're still good here on our stream. Yep, we're good right at 26 minutes. I wanted this to be at least, or at maximum 30 minutes. So we're on schedule here. Again, just want to express thanks for everybody for being a part of it. I know people are busy. I know people have a lot of stuff going on, but I think this is collectively something we do look forward to. It's fun. Another reason why we're doing IDPs is it's more football to watch. It's more fun. And you get a Sunday night, you've got a defender going and you're down 10 points and he gets a pick. Just that kind of excitement is why we're doing that. And so each year we try to build and we try to stack. And we've got some guys who've been here for every season, which is awesome. Again, appreciate you guys for keeping coming back. And really, man, you guys, just salute to yourself for keeping this thing rolling. I think it's a really fun league. I think we've cut out a lot of the riffraff. In that note, we do have a fantasy football chat only. So it's not going to be any of Rick's diatribes about political shit going on. It's not going to be an argue chat. We have one chat that's going to be fantasy football. So it's going to be Justice League Fantasy. So I'm hoping that everybody will contribute on that chat. It is a safe zone. We've got separate chats for sports, separate chats for politics, all that crap. We have one chat that's going to be just for fantasy. So I'll make sure everybody is included in that. And feel free, when your guy scores a touchdown, jump in there, celebrate, whatever, talk to other managers and do whatever we need to do to communicate on that WhatsApp. And we'll keep that chat nice and fantasy related. One thing I will do is I will get a manager list. I've got 2 more minutes here. I'll get a manager list and I'll get everybody's number, which I've done for the last 2 years. There is a little misnomer that guys don't know guys. Okay. If I provide a list of all the names that are in the league, it's on you. Call them. That's all I do. I have all the numbers and I'll call somebody or I'll text them, be like, hey, I want to trade this guy. I mean, I'm making that available for everybody. You will all have everybody's number. So take the time, look at the list, put the numbers in your phone. And if there's a deal that you want to do or you want to create some communication, it's right there. It's been that way for 2 years. It'll be that way again this year. So there is nobody knows this guy. That's bullshit. Everybody's going to know everybody. You're going to have everybody's contact information. It's on you to not be bashful. Reach out, do what you need to do, communicate however you need to communicate. We can't make it any more transparent than that. Other than that, man, I'm super excited. I wanted to get this out. It's Friday night. Got to go to bed. But I'll get this out to you guys. You will have it by tomorrow morning on Saturday. So you'll have a full 24 hours. Hopefully you can digest this. And get your draft plan together, man. Super excited. Great to have all you guys back. It's a brotherhood at this point. So look forward to seeing you guys all on Sunday. We'll do a StreamYard, and I'll try to include as many as possible. I think I can get at least 10, if not more, in here. So if you guys want to participate in the live draft, we'll have it up and running here. We'll throw some music on there, and then we'll get going. And last thing I'll leave you with is, before, we've had issues with Wi-Fi. So have a secondary option. I'm going to bring a MiFi and I'll have my internet and all that stuff going. Just make sure you have a couple different options so that you're not getting timed out, because it is a salary cap draft. And it's going to be tough if you miss out on a player that you would have bid on. You don't want to have any of those issues. So work all that out tomorrow, work all that out Sunday morning, and be ready to go. We are right at a half-hour mark, so I'm going to end this. Peace out, y'all. We're going to see you on Sunday. Super excited and thankful to have all of you guys. Thank you.